Hello, everyone. My name is Ronald Smalls, and welcome to my first commentary of my short film, The Feast. This is my logo, Narrow Road Productions. I love this little sequence that I did. I did it in PAP3, and I liked it so much, but I knew that one day I will probably be able to use it again. It's a symbol of we have the world is really getting dark, and we have to be a light in darkness. So that symbolizes, let your light shine in darkness. It's a lovely sequence, and I kind of also kind of juxtapose it in with the Hebrew alphabet. I love Psalms 119. It gives you the 22 letters of the alphabet. I thought it was a nice touch. And here's a shot coming up of Ruth Lovely Home. Caught that early in the morning. This shot right here, these were some of the last shots that we did. And, they were easy to do after we done all the principal photography. This is my favorite. This was the first thing I saw. The feast kind of came into exception maybe like a year ago. I've been thinking about it for like a whole year. And it was a story that a friend of mine's told, and it was about COVID, and and just people are just so cold, and COVID just put a wet blanket on people's kindness. And she was telling me a story, and and she like had some people at her house, and you know they didn't she wanted to bring them for Thanksgiving dinner, and they didn't want she didn't want them to come. So I was thinking about the feast before I knew it was actually the feast. So when directing came along, I was going to do this on a personal project, but I decided to do it for school. And here's the feast. There's Ruth. I really wanted to. I love this scene. I really do. That was the first thing I saw when was thinking about the fees. I wanted to have her just this woman is very into parties and feeding people, and she want the table to look nice and beautiful, and so this was like the first thing that I saw, and it was really lovely to shoot. Ruth was a trooper. It wasn't as easy as it looked. I had to get on the other end to get that flow, and you can hear those nice sound effects. I kind of went into Premiere Pro to get that effect where you can hear like sheets playing. It was fun to do. I kind of saw a remake of it in the movie Karina when she was spreading the bed sheet. When Whoopi Goldberg spread the bed sheet over the bed, I said, "Oh wow!" Everything just flowed because I watch a lot of movies, and sometimes you'll find little nuggets, and it just was very much led. It's a nice sequence. It's one of my favorite, and it was the first thing I saw and the last thing that I shot. And we had fun doing that. We really did. And when I was doing it, I knew that it would be titles. Like when you see her sitting at the table with the plates, and you know, I knew all that was going to be the titles, the opening sequence. And it just worked. And I absolutely love it. Now these sequences is right here. I did a most of I pulled the audio. It was just so much background noise, and that area is really loud with a lot of traffic. You can't really tell, but you know, I love that touch. I wanted to have her everything close up and her fixing the table. You know, I love this right here. Ruth in the kitchen. She's so like that. She's not far from that character. But this was easy again to shoot because it was just me and her. We did everything the week before, and I just had to find a time to catch her because she's always on the move. And this was pretty easy to do. I originally was gonna do like a commentary exposition type where you kind of give more in details, and I was gonna say Ruth, not Ruth, Mary Fine, but it didn't work. Professor was like, nah, you know I mean, it sounded good, but sometimes you have an idea when you're actually put it together, you can kind of see what works and what don't work. I'm kind of learning so much in editing. I did a lot with this kitchen scene because you're coming up for the phone calls, get ready to come up. So I kind of I had an idea of how I was gonna shoot it, but I didn't know how it was gonna look. So I just did a lot. So I did have a lot to choose from, and it does have that jump cut look, but something's getting ready to happen because it's just too quiet and serene. She's fixing the table and la 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 la, and boom, here comes the big. Well, we can't come to dinner. I wanted to have that. Because she's kind of the type of person that she's not appreciated, and and Ruth, I know Ruth personally, and I wouldn't tell her that, but she does a lot for a lot of people, and they don't appreciate it. Sometimes when you just try to do good, people just walk over you like you're a doormat, and people like you got to learn how to make lemon from the lemons that people throw at you. You have to learn how to make lemonade, because sometimes the people you love treat you like crap, and ask God, okay, what do I do? Because the moral of this story is, Jesus says, what you do for these little ones, you do to me. So if you fix food and you invite your family over for dinner and they don't come, feed someone else. Don't sit and cry about it. I didn't want her to be a sourpuss and just cry. She's not angry. She's just gonna go in and find out what to do. And I just wanted to show her preparing everything. And the music worked. I think the music works of what I originally was gonna do. But I'm open for change, and I like other people's ideas. I love creativity. Sometimes the just most creative things comes at the most strangest times. So that's how I am. Even doing this video, I've had a creative idea. Sometimes you don't know how to do something, you have to find another way. And a lot of these, like this, it's sound effects. I'm sorry, I got it from WeStar. Um, just to add the sound effects that you hear in the beginning, a lot of that comes from WeStar because I pulled the audio. It was just too much background noise, and yeah. So I guess we can move on to the next. This can get time consuming. Time is rolling. Yeah, Ruth was really good. She was a natural. It was really easy to direct her. I've learned to shoot more than what you really need, because when you get in editing, you have in your mind what you want to do, but when you get into editing, if you shoot a lot, you have a lot to work with. I had to do my own voiceovers, and I had to do it a couple of times just to make it more believable. And Ruth was really easy to direct, and maybe because we're so more comfortable with one another, and I was able to get that emotion because she's getting ready to get a phone call, and she prepared all this food, and I had to find out, like, if I cooked a lot of food and like for like 12 people and they didn't show up, I wouldn't be mad, but my feelings would be hurt. It's more of an emotional thing. Most of women, and she just captured what I asked of her, and she gave it to me, and I was so appreciative, and and she is that type of person, and she's not gonna cry about it. And I didn't want this character to to be angry, because she's not angry. She's a godly woman, and well, it's just if you're a kind person to human being, I think that's a god character. Who's supposed to be kind to one another, and she really captured that. This was one of my favorite scenes when she's on the phone, and just the look on her face. I love it. I so respect people that's comfortable in front of the camera. I'm not so comfortable in front of the camera. I'm just not. I like to be behind the camera, but I'm very uncomfortable in front of the camera. And I respect people that have that gift. They can convey their emotions and give it to you in front of the camera. And she was right on. It was great. I love it.
The flu.
She was
Yeah,
so
I mean, as
natural.
a kid,
Oh,
We did
well,
it
I hope
maybe
everybody will
three
start to
three
feel better.
takes, and I
I
think
know how
this
you
one
feel about your part,
was the best one.
but I'm not thinking about
Here there go
maybe
me
next
speaking.
time.
I kind of did some
Well,
editing
bye,
Premiere
honey.
Pro
I
to
hope you
give
feel
that
better. Maybe
phone
next time.
sound effect. I shot this from the outside because I wanted her to be, looking out because she has such a beautiful yard. And look at the squirrel. It's a nice little story behind that. I didn't even know I was going to use that.
Okay.
And the backyard was
What do
just
I do?
beautiful. The wind was
Get all
blowing.
this nice
The,
food. I
the
don't want to
her
take it all
house is
away.
just, I love the colors because it's near the beach. It's really like maybe a half a mile from the
Maybe not.
beach, and a lot of the corals and the pool is in the back. I love her deck. I love filming in her house. The first one that I did, the plan was done there, but we didn't get the outside. And this squirrel was eating the bird's food. And Ruth is an animal lover. She'll pick a dead bird up in the street and go bury it, because she loves animal. And she has her house set. Animals just come near the birds. The mother bird leave the baby birds, and you see the little birds in the nest, and the squirrel climbed up, and she goes, Ron, hey, look at that, can you get that? So I filmed it, and I didn't know I was going to use it. Yeah, because when you're editing, I mean, it's good to get as much as you can when you're shooting. That I'm learning more and more, because sometimes you don't know what you're gonna use, and it's part of my B-roll. I do a lot of B-roll lately, even if I have a lot of ideas, but I'm learning you only can do one thing at a time. And sometimes I'll see a project before I'm actually doing a project, and it kind of just fits right into God's divine plan, because He knows everything. And I'm a praying person, and I ask for what to do because I don't want to do my own thing. I've done it before, it didn't work. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm learning the learning process, not just filming, but producing and editing as well. And I'm learning to take my time and do one thing at a time, because you could have an idea, but you have to execute. And I want to, I'm continual learning, and I see so many things that I can do over and do better with with this. This was again, it was really easy. It was just me and Ruth. It was so hot that day. Carol Masters, the girl that you see in the scenes, thank you so much for inviting us to your house. You have a beautiful house. She was originally supposed to play Amy, but she got sick. I've learned you cannot panic. You just gotta move on, and you just gotta rethink things. Because I almost panicked, because that was the dinner scene that we're gonna see at the end was the first thing I shot. These were really easy. Like, I pulled the audio from some of these shots because it was so much traffic. You see
Hi.
this little cute little block, but there was a lot of traffic. And so what you hear, those were sound effects that I pulled from We Star. Some I just shot a lot, so I knew when I got to editing, I have a lot to work with. I'm not the best editor, but I try. Someone probably can do way better than me, but I do my best. You see Ann here, and she's a retired civil service worker. She's old. She's Ruth's neighbor. She filled in for Carol, so I was really appreciative of that. I know what it's like to be homeless. I was homeless. I tell stories of my own experience this is me. You know, someone invited me into their house. Someone was kind to me when I was out in the street. I didn't fly a sign per se, as you would see. I guess because I had my own level of pride, and I knew that God would take care of me, and I knew I would come out of that situation. I just didn't know when. I just kept my faith, and I just hoped every day. But I do understand, and kind people have done wonderful things for me, like this. I've met many Ruths, not just Ruths, but Daves, that just was kind and invite someone into their house. Not too many people will invite you into their house. You know, give you a couple of dollars, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it takes a special kind of person to just open up their doors and say, "Come on in." And I'm not judging anyone that don't do it, but you know, everyone is different, and everyone having a certain anointing and calling to do certain things. Some people are just help. They can just help people, and just that's just who they are. And you know, I love this scene, but I could have did more with this as well. It was just so hot. I wanted to reshoot that, but she just wasn't willing. It was just so hot. She couldn't bear it almost. She's Ruth's neighbor. She's a lovely lady. I kind of met her at the dinner scene, and you know, because you know I needed people at the table, and Ruth knew some people, so she kind of helped me do. Yeah, I did shoot a
Hi,
lot,
my
but
name is Mary
there was a lot of
Fine. What's your
just
name?
it was so hot.
Amy?
We
I
just
just
tried to
happened to
get
see you
through it.
standing here, and I was
As
wondering
you
if
can
you
see,
had
look at
plans for
Ruth.
dinner tonight.
See, Anne was
I
fumbling, but
would love
Ruth
to have
just
you come to
kept
my
going. It
house. I live
just
just a
made me
few blocks
laugh.
away.
I was
Come on in,
watching, but I didn't
enjoy
want to
dinner. I'd
stop
like to mail
because I'm
bread
like,
to you.
okay, we got it.
My address is
Anne was about to hit the deck, and Ruth, it was just
okay.
hilarious. But I was watching this, and I'm like, oh God, please let me just get this.
Well, take care. See you
And you
later.
know, Ruth walks away, and I that's where you see a lot of jump cuts. I had to correct that because it was just hilarious. Like this right here, I shot that last year. And I wanted to use a full shot, but you know, you couldn't do it because the weather changed. And here's the dinner scene. I love this. The food looked delicious. Everybody was ravenous. We were waiting like, when can we dig into this food? Is we Ruth? Here's this big scene because we were getting down to the nitty gritty. Because it was time to go, and this I was so happy to get through that first day because once I shot that, I figured, okay, it's smooth sailing. I can figure everything out. I've learned so much shooting a dinner scene. I can do this so much better. I see so many things I can do better. I ordered some equipment from Amazon that didn't come. I wanted overhead lighting.
Somebody's
I just was praying that the light didn't fall on the table.
Everybody, let's join
It was a
hands
lot going
now.
on with
Thanks.
this scene right here, but
Everyone,
we got through that.
I want to thank you so much for allowing
I
me
shot those individually after they ate because they were red. They were really hungry. So was I. I don't think about food when I'm working, but this was really nice. You know, the bread. You know, it was a lot of creative ideas and a lot of input because I love creative input. Long as it's creative, you know, I don't have time to tear people down. I like to build, but I had a ball doing this, and thanks to Professor, he's the best, and I love people's creative inputs. Doing this dinner scene was definitely something special. It was so many moving parts behind the scene when you don't have a help. I was truly a one man band. They were tired. I was tired. I was so tired. But I was just so thankful to get through this. It's so many things that I can do better and that I would have done better, but I just had to work with what I had. This was a great project for me. It was going to be a personal project, but I happened to do it for school because it's been in my mind for like a year. I just didn't write it down. I kind of see pictures of what I want to do, and I just kind of pray on it to make sure I'm led in the right direction. And when it's right, and God is in it, it'll work. And He will just guide your path in the right reason. People make movies for a lot of different reasons, and because I think medium is very important, it's very powerful. And I, everybody have every reasons why they do what they do. I know what I want to do and what I want to say, and we have control of the content that we put out. Because anything you see, somebody sat down and thought about it. I am conscious what I think about and what I'm gonna put before Ronald Small's camera. No disrespect to anyone, and I respect people's mediums, and I just hope they respect mine, because this bread symbolized the Holy Communion, and you get to know people by eating and dining. That's what Jesus did. He dined with people, and he talked with the undesirable people that were homeless, prostitutes, and all the other factions that go with life. And people when you get to eat and you see what's in their mind. And this is saying, when you invite someone in your house, you're lending to the Lord, and you don't know. See, God is watching everything, and it's a representation that Jesus is watching, and that's what the bread symbolizes, and that's just who I am. I just try to let my little light shine, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And just God bless everyone, and just keep making good content, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just a little squirrel in this world. Like that little squirrel you see sitting in a little cage. I'm just trying to eat the right food, and so I can say the right thing. God bless you. Bye-bye.